Hello, all you wonderful dissidents and anti-wokesters. I wanted to make a quick little video here following up on the Nancy Pelosi, Paul Pelosi, kind of crazy story that's breaking right now. And it looks like we got a Jesse Smollett's type situation again on our hands where we're being kind of lied to and manipulated once again, which is all that our media is capable of doing to us. So let's go ahead and get into it and see what they're talking about now and maybe come to some conclusions. All right, so if we remember here, when this first started, we were told that a man made forceful entry into the home, and Paul Pelosi was basically they didn't say he was woken up, but they said that he responded to the sounds of this home intrusion that was happening, and apparently had grabbed a hammer and made some kind of phone call, which didn't quite add up at the time, about a wellness call. Because why would you call 911 for a wellness call if there's a home intrusion? Why would it be labeled as a wellness call? Well, a few things have come out since then, and I don't think that we should be all that surprised about any of this, considering who we're dealing with and the type of people that we're dealing with. So anyway, there was a 911 call, and he apparently called and told him that there was a man that he didn't know, but his name was David, and that he was a friend. Which none of that obviously makes sense, and the dispatch call has already been kind of leaked or revealed. I don't know which one it is, but where even the cop that's responding or on the call said that it didn't make sense. Obviously, it doesn't make sense. I guess I could picture some scenario where, like, if there was an actual insane man in your house, where you might be able to manipulate him into thinking that you're making a phone call on his behalf, and therefore you would, discuss over the phone within earshot, calling him a friend or whatever. But, that's kind of far fetched. And so, what it starting to appear like is that Paul Pelosi here may have had a male prostitute or sex buddy over, and things got out of hand. I could easily see, a situation like that, a sketchy 2 a.m. situation where you have paid for sex allegedly, or even consensual, like all parties are wanting it for, I could see how that could degrade quickly. There's really nothing positive in that world of events. But so in San Francisco nudist. By the way, this guy's a nudist. They're trying to paint him as some radical right winger because apparently he has a manifesto that's anti-government. Like, nobody on the left is anti-government and wants to overthrow the government and replace it with some communist, socialist utopia that never has existed in all of time. But apparently, this rabid, right-wing Trump supporter was a nudist, supported the LGBT community, made hemp jewelry, wearing his fucking faggot Birkenstocks, and so, yeah. Oh, has the BLM and lives in a hippie commune. So with some girlfriend or his kid's mother, currently in jail and following the same kind of politics. Typical Trump right winger. So as we look here, it says that Paul Pelosi reportedly told the 911 dispatch that the individual who allegedly attacked him with a hammer in his home is a friend, according to the police dispatch call early Friday morning. So obviously, this just doesn't square. It doesn't add up with the original story, and they're trying to evolve it and distract at the same time, because as we know, our media isn't, their main purpose isn't to disseminate information, it's to disseminate propaganda. And so right now they're trying to find a way to spin this, trying to find a way to leverage power and position out of it. And they're kind of having a hard time of it, even though they're openly, you know, here's the call logs, whatever. But it seems like they're kind of having a hard time of it. Like, look, this is where this supposed right wing Trump supporter was living right here. We got us an LGBTQIA plus ampersand sign flag right here in this window. There's a Black Lives Matter type post, I think, up here. Junk obviously all in the yard, which is, you know, your typical Trump supporter, you know, all those low lifes. And so so let's see. Also, one thing I want to bring up is what kind of home invasion, like this guy right here says, what kind of home invasion involves bathroom breaks? You know, like how do you go about asking for that in the middle of a violent home invasion where a guy apparently just smashed his way into your home? You know, smashed his way in, all the glass is sitting out on the outside right here. The wood slats, if you zoom in on this, are broken outwards, you know. So I mean, to me, it looks like this guy was trying to get away, you know. So in the end, my friends, obviously a critical mind that's still able to just process basic thoughts and facts, and you still, if you still trust your eyes and your basic common sense instinct, it tells you that none of this squares up, none of this adds up. There's also some reports that when the police responded, a third person, a third man, answered the door. So what was going on here? Was it some kind of homosexual sex party in the middle of the night when his wife is away? Like, none of this squares, and it doesn't take Sherlock Holmes or some goddamn, you know, mental mega mind to figure this shit out. Like, I think it's pretty obvious that this was some kind of fucking deviancy going on in the middle of the night, in one of our deviant capitals of this nation, San Francisco. And if we look already, you know, instantly, obviously, and, you know, as the time I'm making this video, it's Sunday, and, you know, so it's already kind of old news because this is what they do every time. They're already trying to make hay out of it and divide instead of just shutting the fuck up and waiting to see what the hell is going on with any of this. Right away, it's Democrats lash out at the GOP after Pelosi assault. Already they're trying to make hay out of this, trying to, you know, paint their political rivals as extremists that are assaulting them, despite all the evidence. I mean, we have a Jesse Smollett situation going on here where they're going to try to literally demonize you know, the MAGA base, the conservative base, the Republican base, and we're completely exempt from this situation. In no way, shape, or form are we even involved in any of this. It looks like lefty on lefty violence to me, and the more we get of that, the better, as far as I'm concerned. Far right wing nationalists tried to assassinate Speaker of the House and almost killed her husband a year after violent insurrectionists tried to find her and kill her in the Capitol. So apparently we're supposed to believe that this man broke into the house, apparently somehow spilling glass and wood chunks out onto the patio as he broke his way into the house, and then started screaming, "Where's Nancy? Where's Nancy?" I'm assuming that during the bathroom break he was still just raving, "Where's Nancy? Where's Nancy?" As Paulie over there is calmly making a phone call. I can almost guarantee you, if we ever get the police footage, the body cam chest footage, we're gonna find that old Paul Pelosi was probably in his skivvies. You know, he probably wasn't fully dressed either, as well as the person who answered the door. I'd like to see who that person is. Why are they shielding that person? It's all going to come out. They don't have the ability to suppress this much common sense, open, factual information. They're going to try, and they're going to deny, and they're going to act like none of this exists, and they're just going to ignore it. And if it gets to the point where they can no longer even try to make any of this make any sense to even the most, you know, head in the sand leftist liberal, they're just going to stop talking about it. And to a lefty who gets all their news from MSNBC and CNN and NPR, to them, the situation they're going to be left with is they're going to be told they're going to go off their what they were told from CNN that that right wing extremists tried to break into the House and assault the husband of the Speaker of the House. And if you believe any of this, that a man could literally bypass all the security that would be involved to get to the spouse of the third person in line to the presidency, the Speaker of the House. If the president goes, the vice president goes, you get the Speaker of the House. There's a succession, and you're telling me that the third most powerful individual in this country politically has no protection around their main residence, around their spouse. You're telling me that there's no Secret Service, there's no personal security based around the husband of the third most powerful person, that if he was to be kidnapped or something, that he could be used as leverage against the third most powerful person. That doesn't make any sense to me. These people are ring fenced with layers of security. You don't get just some Birkenstock wearing, hemp jewelry making lefty hippie wandering around and breaking into their homes. That it just doesn't work that way. And if you're believing any of this, they broke your brain. You're past done. Like, if you have no questions, you may not have any answers. You may not know exactly what's going on or want to believe the most extreme examples, and I don't blame you. You know, like you should always go in critically and not jump to the extremes, but you should always have questions. There should always be, am I being told right? Where are they trying to lead me with this story? What are they trying to convince me of? And if you don't have those natural doubts, then you're doing yourself a disservice. So obviously, here's the guy right here. None of this adds up. None of it makes any sense. The guy is an open and avowed leftist. Everybody that they've talked to in his neighborhood that knew him say that he wasn't right in his head. He had mental illness. They talked to this Gypsy Tab. Apparently, he's the ex-life partner of David Dupapi. First off, conservatives and right-wingers don't talk this way. We don't have ex-life partners. That's lefty gobbledygook. But and the mother of his children. I guess they had two children together, two male children or two boys. He is mentally ill. He has been mentally ill for a long time, she added, saying she had two sons with the man before splitting up 7 years ago. So Tal went on to detail one incident, and right now apparently she's incarcerated, and so I'm assuming that they're talking to her over a prison phone. So Tal went on to detail one incident when DePapi reportedly came home after disappearing for almost a year out of the blue. He came back in a very bad shape. He thought he was Jesus. He was constantly paranoid, thinking people were after him, and it took a good year or two to get back to, being halfway normal. If what we're dealing with right now is this man's halfway normal, oh my God. So pressed about DePapi's political leanings, Taub said that he had never been particularly involved. When I met him, he was 20 years old. He didn't have any experience in politics. He was very much in alignment with my views, and she is progressive or to the left. And so I've always been very progressive. I absolutely admire Nancy Pelosi. What kind of human admires Nancy Pelosi? Like, you may be neutral to Nancy Pelosi, but how do you look at Nancy Pelosi and you admire her? She went on to offer her deepest apology to the Speaker, Nancy Pelosi, and her husband. So, I mean, it amazes me that they're even trying to go this route, but I guess they've shown over the last couple years just how little they think of the American people. And they already know that they have brain damaged, numbed zombies who watch their channels and who will basically gobble up anything that they put out there. And so even apparently a man that lives in a hippie commune with gay pride flags, BLM posters, making hemp jewelry, part of a nudist colony. Apparently, even they think that they could sell that man as a right-wing conservative extremist, And as we see, I mean, they're giving it the old college try, a nice valiant effort. So all I'm saying is none of this shit adds up. To me, this is some kind of homosexual sex party gone wrong. Um, I guess they didn't mind the rule when you're in another person's house, don't bring up politics. The man probably got in there and brought up some politics. I wouldn't put it past him, probably trying to blackmail him for some money or something. And old Paul, being the lizard he is, isn't going to even part with a dollar. And so, it was hammer time. But so that's basically what I got for you. Let me know what you think. If you have any ideas on what the possibilities could have been that or for what happened, maybe put it in the comments below. If you like this video, throw me a subscribe and a like, and I appreciate it, man.